What's going on, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time, the podcast where we get to speak to incredible people across the world. Not just the area, Craig, the whole wide world. I'm your host with the most, the one and only Mr. Midas. Now, once again, I want to thank you all for the love on the channel. Keep on supporting. We are working towards 5K right now, so hit them subs. But you know what? That ain't even important right now. What's important is the incredible guest we have on today's show, because we have a variety streamer. She is a RPG lover. You can catch her playing them cozy games or battering a boss on one of them souls like Noobtoons. Welcome to Too Many Games and Not Enough Time. How are you doing today?
Wow, you've hyped me up so much. I'm doing good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited to talk some games with you, and I'm glad I'm hyped you up. I'm glad I got you nice excited to talk some games. So, I see that you love RPGs. You say that you love cozy games, but anytime I come into your stream, I see you playing one of them hard games like a P or like Liza P or them Souls, things like that. And I said to you when I came into your Twitch, I was like, Yinka, I am trash at parrying. I can't parry for nothing. What is it about these hard games that you even like?
I don't know, because sometimes it's just like you just want a bit more challenge, really. Like it's nice to play like chill games and just like vibe with the community, but sometimes it gets kind of boring and repetitive as well. So the challenge makes it a bit more interesting, and I feel like being a player and also a viewer, you get like this kind of hype about almost killing a boss. It feels really, really good. It's like a rush of I don't know what chemicals in your body. It feels amazing.
Say the endorphins are going off in your brain, yeah?
Yeah, honestly, it feels really, really good. And even when I go back after a stream to like rewatch the VOD or anything, I feel all of that feeling all over again, and I don't think I can get over it. It's like some kind of weird addiction. Unfortunately, it feels good.
Yinka, I've spoken to thousands of gamers in my lifetime. I've spoken to press companies, and no one's actually broken it down like that. That's the best explanation I've ever got in playing one of those Souls games, because usually people are like, oh yeah, I like the challenge and I like to feel special, or other people are like, oh, get good, take time and get good. But to actually think of it as the victory, like being able to challenge yourself and get that victory and get that rush, that excitement in you because you've been able to defeat something that's taken you 100 times. I like that explanation. That's a good way of putting it. So one of the games from that kind of Souls-esque genre that really stood out to me is Liza P, because I've never really been into the whole Dark Souls, Demon Souls, because I don't like that aesthetic. I don't like that kind of old Victorious aesthetic. But Liza P looks super cool, and you've been banging it out. What is it that you like about the game?
I think it's like everybody grew up knowing a bit of the Pinocchio story, right? And I guess for me initially it was a curiosity, like what direction were they going to take it? And it was really nice to see that they didn't like copy exactly the same, but the main theme of Pinocchio was still there. And it's a really beautiful story, honestly. I wish a lot more people got to experience it, but it was a bit challenging to get into initially. I know I quit the game twice, even like during the demo phase, but as soon as I got past, like the first couple of bosses, it was so nice to just experience the entire game and explore what, their take of Pinocchio was. And it's really, really, really amazing story, and I wish everybody got to play it as well.
Yeah, no, it looks proper dope. I'm not even gonna lie, like the amount of times I'm like, I want to play it, but the one game in that series that I really tried was Sekiro, and Sekiro was all parry based. It wasn't even the rolling thing. I know some of them games you can get away with just rolling. That was like parry based. I couldn't pass the second boss, Yinka. Second boss, couldn't get past it. And when I mean second boss, it might not even have been a main boss. I remember one guy that was chained up that took me about 10 months to beat. And then there was another guy, and I just couldn't get past it. It stresses my life.
Yeah. I think honestly, if I was playing the game on my own without like the audience aspect of streaming, I don't think I would have been motivated to carry on as much as I did. So having like people in chat like encourage me to keep going, that it's going to be easy. And also I encourage like backsitting as well. So people who play the game before, they suggest, oh, try this and that, and it makes it so much easier. I wish a lot more people sort of like took feedback from the audience and see like which best way to actually approach a boss and things like that. It made it so much easier for me because it's an old game. When I played it, it was already like out for years, so there was a lot of like knowledge around how to like progress the game like really easy mode. So I didn't have a lot like of struggle getting past the game personally, but it really prepared me for Lies of P as well, so that was good. I'm glad I actually played Sekiro before Lies of P. So yeah.
You know what? You're kind of selling me. I like you kind of selling me. I can't believe it. No one ever sells me on Souls games, but I like your direction because I started streaming like randomly a week ago. So it might be something I can play on stream and then thing. And out of all of them, I think Lies of P is the one that kind of stands out that I would try.
Really good.
I don't class it as like Souls-like because it's a completely different. That's the only one. And I still didn't beat that game as well. Like I'm gonna like they've added an easy mode, so I'm definitely gonna go back into it. So you are a fellow RPG lover. Like role-playing games are the cornerstone to my heart, specifically probably JRPG, more specifically with me. But what is an RPG that is super special to you?
Final Fantasy 14. I got into the game really late. This is just at the very last bit of a pandemic as well. So I was playing a totally different RPG game at the time, and I was always complaining there's nobody playing this game anymore. And some people came into chat, was just like, have you tried Final Fantasy 14? I was so reluctant as well because I was so invested in this other game. And I gave it a chance, and I was like, the character looks amazing. Funny enough, she's actually my background image right now. The character looks so good, and there was a lot of options in terms of like skin tones and stuff. I think the only downside was like the hairstyles, but that's a different story. But but yeah, it really got me into like JRPGs. I think it was my first JRPG game actually, Final Fantasy 14, and I haven't looked back since. I think I've played like 2 other Final Fantasy games since then, and it's amazing.
That's crazy that your first JRPG is actually an MMO. Do you know what? Like, I've always wanted to get into Final Fantasy 14 because Final Fantasy, that's like one of the genres that one of the franchises that I love. I've got my Cloud Strife over there. I got a Buster Sword over there. Like,
nice.
Love it. But I've never got into MMOs. I think it's the time commitment to one thing, and I think maybe if I didn't work in games and I just played games like back in the days when I was a recording artist, maybe I could have got into it. But because I play so much games for work, I don't feel like I can commit. But people are always like, Midas, it has the best story in any Final Fantasy ever.
Yep.
What is it about the story that just gasses you up?
Honestly, I think it's the relationships you build with like the NPCs. I know it's crazy, right? It's NPCs. You shouldn't like have like such an emotional connection with them. So I don't want to spoil too much, but later on in the story, you get to the point where you feel like you're about to lose them, and you feel like you're losing an actual friend because you've like had so many experiences with them, and it's the most heart-wrenching thing ever because the game does it in a way where they hype you up like close to that happening, and then they tear it out as well with the relationship to the point where you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose them. These are my best friends. And yeah, it's great story writing, honestly. I don't think I've ever seen anything else like it. It's amazing.
That's the power of video games, for them to be able to tell a story so well that you feel so connected with characters who, like you say, they're just NPCs. Like, people are out here falling in love in Baldur's Gate 3. People are all like finding whole new connections. Like, does your other half know that you're married to a bear in a game and them thing there, or you fell in love with an alien and them thing there? Like, people have really built these connections, and it shows how strong the writing is. Yinka, I want you to tell me about a game from when you was younger that really made you love video games? So it doesn't need to be your favorite game, but a game that stands out to you from when you was younger that really made you fall in love with playing games.
I think my most vivid memory would be Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It's the only game that I actually played as a kid that I completed entirely because of my love for the franchise as well. And just seeing how, the movie translated into the game, I think that was a really big one for me. And I was able to sort of explore what it felt like to be a wizard and all that in game. It was so surreal for me. So that's probably the most standout memory for me as a kid playing a Harry Potter.
That's dope. I think about so many kids got into games because of like movie tie-ins or anime tie-ins or stuff like that. Like the amount of like, for example, the Dragon Ball Z games. That's what that was like the first anime games I ever played. I didn't even know I would care about anime games, but playing a Dragon Ball Z game just had me hyped and stuff like that. And it's dope how far we've come to the point where with things like the new Harry Potter, with things like Marvel Spider-Man, with the new Wolverine coming out, like franchise tied in games, Avatar game come out right now are like a whole new level. They just incredible. All right. I haven't actually seen you play any cozy games, yeah? Like I said, all I see you playing is these hard games going ham. So I need to know that you're about this cozy life. No, I'm joking.
I am.
Tell me about a cozy game that you love to just chill out and play. So not even stream with your community, just either kick back on the sofa or just at your PC, or like, what's a cozy game that you love to put your time into?
Definitely Animal Crossing. Like I have it on the Switch, and I feel like my Switch is like my bedtime gaming thing. So I don't really like to stream Switch games personally. But Animal Crossing is amazing, honestly. I didn't get into it when, it was still hyped at the time of the pandemic, but like a year or two later I got into Animal Crossing, and honestly I haven't been able to put it down since. It's my favorite cozy game, definitely.
New Horizon is so addictive, and so I've got a gaming friend, Sunpie, you probably know, and Sun loves Animal Crossing, like old school, and she always used to say, Midas, you got to play the new Animal Crossing. I'm like, Son, I'm not playing no Animal Crossing, this ain't for me. And then obviously the pandemic hit and we were all stuck in our houses, and I started playing it, and Yinka, listen, that game was special. Like I went to like a Black Lives Matter march on it. Like I was making my own clothes.
Serious?
I was making
gosh.
like Nike tops and Moschino tops. Like I've even met, there's a guy called his brain is, how can his name just come out of my head? I feel so bad. Basically we connected via Animal Crossing. He was, remember when people were when you had to get, what did you sell to get bells again? What is it?
Turnips.
Yeah, the turnip market was peak. And like I met him via the turnip market, and he was he had a sofa. He had like a corner sofa, and I remember I went to his island, and he was like, "Bro, I got this corner sofa. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Yes, fam. That corner sofa's sick." And I went to his yard, and bare people came to my island, like, "Bro, where'd you get that corner sofa?" And I'm like, "Nah. You can't have that corner sofa. That corner sofa's special." So yeah, like such a special game, and it's mad because Nintendo sold mad units, but like you said, the pandemic's ended, and you're still like, you only got into it recently, and people are still really gravitating to that game, and I think it kind of shows how special the Nintendo Switch is. That I always tell my friends who are gamers, and they're like, "Oh, what should I get? Should I get the PlayStation or Xbox?" I'm like, "Fam, get a Switch. Like you're busy, you got a family, like you can literally just sit down on the sofa." And just play it while the kids are taking over the TV and stuff like that. What is it about New Horizons, Animal Crossing New Horizon, that really sucks you in?
I think it's the sort of party or the grouping system, you know, like you can also like go to other people's islands. So I would have like friends who actually streamed the game, and it was kind of like a bonding moment as well. So they would stream the game, and they'll be like, okay, who wants to come over to the island? I'll be like, me. It was really nice, and we would, you know, play out the different scenarios. I think the last co-op thing that I did was the Halloween from last year with a friend of mine who still actively streams the game as well. So it's really nice to just like have, like, you know, people around just vibing, listening to KK as well. The different KK sounds. It's really fun bonding. Even though I don't personally stream it myself, I just, you know, co-op with other streamers who are actually allowing visitors as well.
Do you know what
also,
though? I think as a streamer, sorry to cut you, I think as a streamer, even a content creator, I think it's really important to have games that are just for yourself. Like there's certain games, like I'm a secret simmer. I love me some Sims 4, but I've only ever done one video for Sims, and that's because EA were like, look, we want you to do a video telling people you're a secret simmer. Because I've played Sims for years, but I don't want to do content for it. I do so much content. I want a game that's just for me. So it's nice to actually have something that's just for you, where it's not just work all of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So also, I think when I got into the game, I think a big aspect of it was the hairstyles. So when you create a character, you get like really basic hairstyles. And then apparently there was a petition online where people were like, you know, Nintendo needs to add more hairstyles, and they created like more black hairstyles.
Yeah.
And you can get it like later on in the game. I was like, I'm so grateful for the people who actually put in the work to get this in. So it made me so happy. I think I made a YouTube video about it as well. Just knowing that it existed in the game. I think it's one of those games that actually, you know, stands out for me in terms of like, you know, inclusion in that sense. So that also makes it really good as well.
It's super dope, and I'm super glad that Nintendo did actually implement that. Sorry, Yinka, you've got a really successful Twitch channel hitting over 10k and them ting there. Congratulations. How did the journey of you becoming a streamer start, and what made you even want to start streaming?
So obviously, like most people, the pandemic. But like I said, I was playing a different game at the time. But then when I played these games, I had like a group of like friends who we would just sit on Discord and just play out this game. But then it got to the point where the pandemic was slowly easing out, and people were returning to work. So there wasn't that sort of like, you know, co-op happening anymore. And I was starting to get bored, like just waiting around with like less people to play with. And then I just turned on my camera one day, was streaming the game, and then I wasn't a Twitch viewer, unfortunately, so everything was kind of really new to me. I didn't know what I was doing. So I would have people come into the chat, and I'll be like, oh, these people actually here, what's happening? Like, I don't think I even knew what alerts was until like maybe a month or two into streaming. So there was one time I actually got a raid, and I was like, where did these people come from? I didn't know what a raid was. I was like, why are there so many people here now? Yeah, it was a really huge learning process for me. I think I really struggled to like find other, you know, Black people in the community as well. Until one day I just randomly stumbled upon Ready Set Ben on Twitter, and I think that was where the connection started to come in. And you know, the Black community on Twitch found me as well, and I was so grateful. And I think from there, just people, you know, including me in things, and making sure I'm always part of something that's happening as well has really, really helped. So I'm glad I made those connections the time that I did, I guess. It's really helped me along my journey.
Firstly, you've only been streaming since the pandemic, and you've hit 10k on Twitch. That is incredible. Like, that's really, really incredible. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
That's super dope. And yeah, so dope. Like, the reason why I work in the gaming industry is because the frustration of not seeing people that look like me on the platforms that I wanted to. And one of the great things that I wouldn't even say in the UK, I would say globally, is the connection with Black gamers and us being able to support each other and help each other be on other platforms and stuff like that. And that is dope. But yeah, that's crazy, and you're doing good.
Thank you.
One of the things that I do for Too Many Games is obviously I go and jump in people's streams or watch their videos to actually research them for before I chat. But I've properly enjoyed, like I've jumped in your streams a good few times just because I've loved seeing you battering up a boss on Eliza P or one of these hard games, and your personality comes out really dope, and I think the content's really cool. So you built a dope community, and I hope you're super proud of yourself.
I am, thank you.
But Yinka, we're only a short form podcast. We are running out of time. The time goes so quick.
I know.
If people are feeling your vibe, they like the way you're going, they want to know how you got them numbers so quick, and they want to see why the streams are so sick, where should the people come and check you out?
Definitely check me out on Twitch. I go by Noobtoons everywhere, for the most part. And yeah, feel free to DM me if you have any questions. I'm pretty chill, even though I don't look that chill, but yeah.
You're super chill, super nice. We met in person a couple times. Super chill.
Yeah, feel free to drop me a DM. I can reply anytime. Quick
question before we go. Where did your streamer name come from?
I was actually going for Looney Tunes, but that was taken. So I thought noob was nice, but then I think a lot of the industry kind of frowned upon the old noob name, and I would go into like different communities as well, and people would assume I'm like some white stereotypical person. I mean, I've even had people come into my stream and ask, "Who's the white guy that runs this channel?" I'm just like, I don't know. It's just my name.
What? That's so random. But noob just means new. Don't people just get it? That it means new.
I know, but I feel like a lot of people just assume a different type of person behind the name, and when they see that it's a random black woman, they're just like,
they're just thrown. All right. Yeah. Well, as long as they get the vibe and they enjoy what you're doing, that's all that matters. But Yinka, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for staying to the end of the video. Once again, I want to thank everyone who's supporting. Yes, me randomly just started streaming 7 days ago, so you can check out our Twitch stream as well. But we're working towards 5K so much right now, so thank you so much for supporting. Please drop a comment, please drop a like. You need to let the people know about Yinka. She's doing things. Let me know in the comments below, are you trash like me when it comes to Souls S games? Can you parry? I can't parry. And has she convinced you that you have to play as well? Because I can't lie, that explanation is the first time that I'm kind of been convinced. I'm Mr. Midas, she's Yinka, and you're incredible. We out of here. Peace.